So are you actually crushing out at the gym? But when you look at the mirror, it is actually telling you a very different story. One of a super slow yet very painful progress. You are not alone. Millions of us also face the same issue. But what if I told you that the physique that you're chasing is not really about working hard day in and day out at the gym? It's also about training smartly. What if the real secrets to unlocking that rapid Titan-like physique is way less complicated than you think? Let's be honest, the fitness world can be a minefield full of tons of advice and a lot of blow sides and some myths which are meant to be busted right now in this day. And all that noise, it leads to wasted hours, especially into your workouts and towards your progress as well. And on the other hand, you see some people making legendary gains by just training efficiently. And you wonder, what other sort of workout, what magic pin do they use to get those Titan-like physique? Well, let me break you the truth. Those elite coaches and top athletes not only just work hard, but also they train smarter. They use a blueprint to make every single rep, every single set, and every exercise count. These are the kind of strategies that make regular physiques into legendary ones. Now, this isn't some magic pin or overnight miracle. This is a smart muscle blueprint which will help you to gain that Titan-like physique which everyone aspires to be. These are a collection of high-impact, science-backed strategies which top coaches use on their athletes to build those Titan-like physique. We are talking about real actionable measures which you can use in your training principle which can shift your physique dramatically. So we are going to cut through the fluff and discuss those actionable measures. Everyone has heard about progressive overload, right? Simply lift more over time. But just blindly adding more weights to the bar, it doesn't make any sense. It's just the old school way of doing things and also leading to injuries. As I have said before, everything should be measurable. Elite coaches use a much more smarter method called double progression. This approach first made popular over a century ago by a guy named Alan Calper. So instead of only focusing on piling on more weights with double progression, you first focus on upping the number of reps while selecting a specific weight, all while keeping yourself in the same set rep range. For instance, let's take an example. If I am performing lat pull down with 90 kgs in a set rep range of 8 to 9 repetitions with correct technique, slowly over time, I will try to build up within the same rep range by performing 90 kgs. By the third or fourth week, I'll be able to perform 2 to 3 extra repetitions. That means 12 repetitions in total. And when I feel like I have achieved 12 repetitions, I will bump up the weights and again I'll fall back to 8 repetitions and repeat the cycle again. And this is how double progression works. This also makes sure that you're mastering the weight while performing the exercise with correct technique. It's all about building genuine strength through volume. When it comes down to training with intensity and volume, more isn't always better. Grinding down to dust and overtraining your body every single day will not give you that Titan physique. Smart coaches are all about effective volume and consistency. So, to measure those volume and intensity, they use two metrics. And those two awesome tools are number 1, volume tracking, and number 2, RIR. The full form of RIR is reps in reserve. Volume tracking is pretty straightforward. You just have to log in your exercises that you have performed with hardcore intensity so that you can check and take actionable measures accordingly. General guidelines usually suggest around 10 to 20 hard sets for muscle growth per week, but this can definitely vary from person to person. And that's why measuring the volume is quite important in this manner. And then there is reps in reserve. It is a fantastic way to auto-regulate how intensity your exercise is. Let's say if you're performing a particular exercise with 10 repetitions, and if you feel like you could have performed 2 extra reps, of course, with correct technique, so those 2 repetitions in reserve is your RIR. For building muscle, training within the range of 1 to 3 RIR is a sweet spot. Why so? Because you are training to muscular failure, but not over-fatiguing your muscles so that your recovery hampers and you're unable to perform in the rest of the exercises. Using RIR also helps you to adjust weights and select them accordingly. Suppose if you're performing with a certain weight and you have higher reps in reserve, that means you need to bump up the weights so that you have lesser RIR. This is a much smarter way to track intensity rather than just blindly following percentages. Once you have got those foundations set down, you can now go to advanced tactics which elite coaches use these days. Let's talk about two game changers. First, SFR, and second, Lengthened Partials. First, let's talk about SFR. The full form of SFR is stimulus to fatigue ratio. First up, the SFR concept has been made popular by Dr. Mike Israetel. In SFR concept, it's all about picking the right exercises which give you more muscular stimulus and less systematic fatigue. Let's say, for example, in barbell squats, it will give you more muscular stimulus, but also it will enhance your systematic fatigue. Whereas, if you perform leg presses or hack squat, it will give you muscular stimulus, but less systematic fatigue. This means better recovery over a period of time. Next, let's talk about lengthened partials. This is a technique which has been getting a lot of buzz lately. It involves doing reps only during the stretch part of the exercises. Recent research shows that training a significant muscle group over a period of time using lengthened partials give much more hypertrophy than full range of motion. Some studies even suggest that lengthened partials are much more effective than full range of motion too. You can work on this by adding a few lengthened partials at the end of the repetitions when you have reached failure during full range of motion, especially during exercises like calf raises or the deepest stretch of the leg press or the end point of your bicep curl. While the research is still going on, it is definitely an effective tool that you can use to increase your hypertrophy. You wouldn't try to build a skyscraper using a handful of bricks, right? Similarly, you cannot build the Titan-like physique without the right nutrition. While this video is mainly about training, I cannot deny or ignore the fact about nutrition because it also plays a very vital role in fueling your Titan growth forces. Elite coaches know that the strategic caloric surplus is non-negotiable. You need to be eating more than you burn to gain new muscle tissues as well. Now, don't get me wrong here. This doesn't mean you get a free pass to eat everything that comes in reach. Just a moderate surplus of 200 to 250 calories is sufficient in order to be in a caloric surplus. And it is also generally a good place to start. And what about protein intake? It is absolutely crucial. You have to take about 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilogram of your body weight. And of course, spread it throughout your meals. I have always said this before and I will say today as well. Carbs are not the enemy. Carbohydrates are essentially very important to fuel your workouts. You need to get those glycogen stores in order to perform better at the gym every single day. And also, healthy fats are also essential to keep those hormone balance intact. And remember, the smartest training plan will fail if your nutrition is not dialed in. And hey, if you're finding these strategies useful, let me know in the comment section which strategy you are most excited to implement into your next workout. And also do me a favor, hit that like button. So how do we whip all these different techniques into a plan that actually works? There are two terms for it, which is called prioritization technique or periodization technique. So let's discuss both of them one by one. Prioritization training means you dedicate more time to those lagging body parts where you feel it's difficult to grow. Suppose if your back muscles are not that developed as compared to the rest of the body, your training volume will be accumulated and planned in such a manner that more volume of your back will be performed into your plan. And you might put other muscles into maintenance level volume. This lets you strategically channel the body's adaptive energy and use it accordingly. Simple periodization is all about training in cycles and blocks. Let's take, for instance, you might have a 4-6 volume accumulation workout where you try to lift as much RIR as possible, focusing on the double progression. This could be followed by a 1 to 2 week block where you can add lengthened partials to highly intensify the workouts. Then you will have a short deload or active recovery week where you will dial back the volume and the intensity. This allows your body to fully recover for the next training cycle and also keeps your body sensitive towards the new block in your training. This kind of structured program helps you to break through plateaus, keep yourself out of your comfort zone, creates a structured program and keep progress rolling over long term. Coaches don't just throw random workouts at their athletes, they have a structured plan for them as well. Building a truly impressive Titan-like physique is not about throwing random weights and just working out intensely out of the blue. It's about intelligent strategic training that is grounded by science. The Smart Muscle Blueprint gives you that exact framework that the elite coaches use to transform their clients. By putting principles like smarter progressive overload with the help of double progression, managing your effort with volume tracking and RIR, strategically picking exercises with a high SFR, bringing in advanced techniques like lengthened partials, fueling your body the right way, and structuring your training with prioritization and periodization, you are no longer just working hard, you're working smart. The path to a dramatically improved physique, much faster than you thought it was possible, is now clear to you. Ready to stop spinning those wheels and build that Titan body? Go ahead and download my free Titan Free Start Guide. The link is right there in the description below. It's packed with actionable, backed by science strategies which will help you in building that Titan-like physique. And of course, if you want more science-packed fitness information, you know where to come to. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring that notification bell so that you don't miss a single update from my end. Now go out there and build that Titan.